Gotcha.
So this is Massive, the world's largest cruiserweight, and you're watching and listening to Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm out.
Happy New Year, heels and babyfaces. Welcome to the first episode of 2022 of the Countdown City WrestleCast.
We're on day 3.
I know.
Sorry, that joke really just came to me as I was sitting here.
This is your home for friends just sitting around talking wrestling. And my God, I know it's been a couple weeks since we had a show, but I think we're just letting a whole lot of stuff fester and build up. Yeah, there's a lot.
That's how I live my normal life.
I'm your host, JC. Joining me, as always, are Tommy.
What's up, guys?
And we got Mike.
What's up, guys? It's 2022, and I need a new catchphrase for this year. I'll figure something out later.
If you had one yet.
And I thought, you know what? 2021 went by so fast, I forgot it was time for him to have a new catchphrase. I really did.
Yeah, I literally just forgot until we started this that the whole joke was, we started last year, like, you need to do the same opening every show for the whole year.
Yeah.
So, there'll be something by next week, I promise.
I'm sure it'll be something like, I hate MJF and, like, hate always wins or something. I don't know.
Whoa.
Hate always.
I don't know.
Hate is such a strong word. Just because I want to punch him in the face and, you know, come
Steady,
on.
Burnsy, Terry, what is up? Thank you for joining us.
Nice.
What's up, guys?
Today's going to be a fun show for Tommy, as he likes to say it. Go ahead and sing it, Tommy.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
This is the time of year when Tommy becomes an owl because he stays up to watch 2 straight days of Wrestle Kingdom. Now, it's technically 2 right now because the third one's going to be taped. Third day of Wrestle Kingdom, yes. But so we're going to talk about Wrestle Kingdom, make some picks on the title matches themselves, and maybe talk a few other matches there. This is also the part of the year where most of the time Mike and I just follow whatever Tommy says.
What do you mean? We are both New Japan experts. I can tell you in-depth knowledge of all these participants. Who's this Okada guy? No,
Right.
But I do want to let JC, for those of you who don't know, I text JC this before, and I can't believe for the second year in a row, Toru Yano was the king of pro wrestling for 2021, having successfully defended the title in the last show of last year. So, and I was like, damn it!
This is some Walter CM Punk territory here, man.
I know shit's been crazy the last 2 years, pandemic or otherwise, but Toru Yano being king of pro wrestling 2 years in a row is a shining light in the dark times of this world. So, and I know we've all still sad. It's going to be coming up on a couple years since the last matches of Jushin Thunder Liger, but like a phoenix rising from the ashes, we have Toru Yano stepping in to take on that role of a legend like Liger. And he's been a king of pro wrestling for 2 years in a row. And now, I'm just going to call it now, he's going to step out of Wrestle Kingdom already holding the provisional title for 2022 King of Pro Wrestling.
Sweet baby Jesus, I hope he doesn't win it 3 years in a row.
A couple of years since the last
baby. You know what?
Since the last Jushin Liger match, or as we called it when we entered the multiverse.
Yeah. The way I see it, the record in the NBA for the most consecutive NBA championships is the Celtics, who won 8 in a row. I think Toru Yano goes for an even 10. Just make it a straight up, 10 years in a row. Why not?
But that was the 50s and there was 8 teams. That doesn't count.
If we're doing the show in 3 more years and we get to year 5 and Toru Yano has won it 5 years in a row, I'm officially done picking New Japan matches. I have no idea what they're doing anymore.
Anyway, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. This is also the part where Tommy is going to host our Wrestle Kingdom talk. This is his one time a year. He loves to do it. And after that, we will present finally our year-end awards for 2021. We have some of the same general categories and then some other fun ones that we kind of come up with. And Honestly, I'm still trying to think on the top of my head of something because there's so much crap that happened this past
There,
year.
the second, every time we have our own award, I keep like, what am I gonna think of? And I usually always only think of it when we're recording. So I just figured out. I figured it's gonna come to me while we're doing this. So.
We had some fun ones last year. Go check it out. And there's a lot to talk about with 2021. But quickly, I'll just mention this. Did anybody see Day One?
I didn't. I read some results, saw some interesting. I heard Edge and Miz was really.
I saw what happened in the main event, and I'm just glad I didn't watch any else of it.
I will say I heard Edge and Miz had a great match, which doesn't surprise me. I
did watch that. I loaded Peacock just to see that match because I heard it was really good. It's not that I purposely didn't want to watch it. It's just that I had other stuff. But I
purposely didn't want to watch it.
I purposely didn't want to watch it.
So I read Liv Morgan didn't win. So between that and what happened in the main event, what was the point?
I know the obvious setup, at least coming out of the Miz and Edge matches, that's going to be Miz and Maurice, probably against Edge and Beth Phoenix, and I'm okay with that. I think that's going to be great.
Okay, I have to say something funny out of that match. I don't know if you saw this, but there's a famous AAA thing with Vampiro where he would not go down to the ring until they played his music.
Yeah.
And apparently that's kind of what Beth Phoenix did. Like, she waited on the ramp. She was standing there and waited for her music to actually hit till she walked down to the ring. So I don't know. I just find that funny. People were.
I wonder if a technical guy screwed that up or something. Like, she wasn't supposed to hit the ring until they actually played her music, but the camera guy's already cut. You could see her.
Yeah.
So one little mess up, but beyond that, it was a great moment.
I'm sure there were many more. That's the only one I saw.
But when the news came in, like earlier that day, that Roman Reigns announced on Twitter that he was positive for COVID, could not wrestle that night, and they were moving Lesnar to the WWE Championship match. I saw it. I looked at Tina. I said, "Lesnar's gonna win." It was just the obvious thing.
I was praying to God that wasn't gonna happen.
That was an easy call for me because, WWE was gonna have Lesnar and Roman finish the show, and I wasn't sure which way they were going to go. I wouldn't be surprised if Lesnar was going to beat Roman as it is. But they were going to try and turn this negative of having a main event get screwed over by having a positive, in their eyes, of Lesnar winning and it being everywhere. And sure enough, everyone was reporting it. ESPN, Bleacher Report, everyone reported it. What I don't like is that he pinned Big E to do it. Especially when Big E just had a story on the latest issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated about what it's like for him being the guy now in WWE with the champion.
Can I make my joke again?
Go for it.
Lesnar just needs to pin Woods for the King of the Ring, and then he'll unlock the Barry New Day achievement. Yeah, there you go.
I can't see Vince him doing that and like seeing like an Xbox or PS4 like just ding happening and it's showing up on the screen like on Raw or something. I can see Vince doing that.
Well, they do like all their AR graphics nowadays. So
yeah, so it is what it is. It's Lesnar. All of a sudden they made this switch. I don't know where the plan is to go from here. I don't know where the Roman Lesnar rivalry is going to take place or what they're going to do with it. If they're going to unify titles down the line, who knows? For people speculating that, and yes, in my head I was like, could this have been done? I don't think Roman's COVID diagnosis is a work. I think it's too soon to be trying to work that into storyline.
Yeah, I don't think that's a work. I really don't.
I mean, there were people who tried to say the thing when he got he went into when he got that again. So I don't really doubt people are saying that.
That's pushing it too far. But all right, on to day one. WWE's attempt to supersede New Japan with a show that was kind of, Bernsey, you mentioned that you watched it. You can give us a thumbs down or some quick comments about day one. Let us know what you thought. Honestly, I'll probably might watch a little bit of it later. So,
Tommy, I know you kind of already made this joke, but I'm going to be real upset if WrestleMania just becomes day 93 Super Show. So,
I mean, at this point, I'm literally waiting for the day. Where, like you said, day 93 is just like the story get. We're gonna have continuous wrestling shows all year. They're all gonna be main event shows. We're gonna dominate this year.
That was the other thing I read online. They're not calling them pay-per-views. They're premium. What was it? Premium
live events, which they tried to do that before when they first launched the network. It didn't stick. Sorry, people are going to call them pay-per-views. It's just the way it is right now.
Because no one wants to say PLE. They've been saying PPVs, pay-per-views for years.
Let's get the acronyms.
They paid some company a lot of money for branding. Like, look, here's what you got to call a premium live event.
There's too many acronyms, man. So
doesn't the UFC still call it pay-per-views?
Well, yeah, because you actually do have to pay the $50 for it on top of your ESPN Plus subscription. But anyway, all right, Tommy, I leave it to you. It is
stuff.
Yeah. Let's get to the fun stuff. Let's get to the first big event of the year. Take it away, Tommy. Yes, go for it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, finally, we have waited long enough for this. It's Wrestle Kingdom 16. Also, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 50-year anniversary, I believe, for I think the January 4th shows.
72, right? Was it the first?
72 was when they did the first one. So
wow.
So this is a big deal because because it's always been called the January 4th Tokyo Dome shows. And so it didn't get the Wrestle Kingdom name until about 16 years ago, of course, duh. But for them to have it under Wrestle Kingdom, that banner, that's been the longest going name they've had it under. So it's really cool to see it make that jump. I think JC, you had one match that was, the first time I'm going to talk about is the never openweight belt, and actually Tomohiro has the belt right now.
Oh,
Evil
did
Challenge.
that just change?
Yeah. No, he always had it. Tomohiro, he beat Jay White for it.
Oh, then I had it mixed up. My apologies on that. Yeah,
no, you're all good.
Yeah.
Man. did you
still recovering from Disneyland? Damn it!
The man from Mike, he was so disappointed.
Come on, didn't you know the Stone Pitbull had the title? What's up with that?
That's for you to getting that right. I'll give you that. So.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yay. Well, Mike, since you said something, who do you think's going to win this one?
Well, this is a tough one because you got the Stone Pitbull versus Evil. I mean, his name is Evil. Tommy has cried endlessly on the show about how evil he is when he turned his back on his other team, which was Chaos.
LIJ.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So,
yeah.
So many stables, hard to keep up. I know. So
it is.
I'm not totally obsessed to know everybody's stable. Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, since I follow these storylines so closely, I see a title being retained by Ishii because I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ishii.
Okay. JC, you want to
go? This is going Evil's way. Maybe that's because I had put it wrong on the sheet, but I'm just gonna try and make myself correct. But.
You're trying to
this whole Evil betrayal, I believe it started a year ago, did it not? I mean, this was kind of a big thing.
It's coming up on a year because he left LIJ for Bullet Club almost a year ago. Because he won the New Japan Cup.
That's right.
And then that's when he turned on Naito because they had the cup later that year because of COVID. So yeah.
Yeah, New Japan Cup, step 1. Never open away, step 2. Give it to Evil here. I think they're trying to build something with him, and it'd be a huge for him to beat Ishii. I think that'd be amazing. So I'm gonna go with Evil.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm actually going with Ishii because I can't stand Evil because of all he represents.
Heel, yeah.
But no, because I don't know if you guys knew this, but apparently he started his own sub unit in Bullet Club called House of Torture.
But that sounds super cool.
That does sound
Tim Dick Togo, I think
like Sean. The Dick Togo who's been around forever.
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, Dick Togo is his manager.
Okay, didn't he wrestle at WrestleMania 6 or something against Demolition?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Jesus. Wow.
That's amazing.
I just remember that because it was such a random they brought in a Japanese tag team to face Demolition. I was like, okay.
Yeah, Dick Togo had his pro debut was 1991. I just checked.
Oh.
But yeah.
Okay, so he was young, but yeah.
He was a kid when he did that.
Yeah.
But no, so how it happened was Evil challenged Naito after defecting the Bullet Club. He kept teasing that he had someone helping him out, and it was Dick Togo, and he's been his manager ever since. So
nice.
Mike, by the way, Steady says your catchphrase should be 2022 Electric Boogaloo. That's he's waiting for you to say it too. So.
I'll test it out here in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, I just checked the chat. I saw Terry the absolute bucket list live event for me, dude. Same.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like if it wasn't for COVID, because I was actually gonna I actually paid my car off last year, and I was like, once I did, I was like, that was absolutely the thing I was saving up my money for. And if it had not been for COVID, I think this year probably would have been my year to finally go.
Yeah.
Tommy, if I ever become a millionaire, we're all going entourage style, private jets.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe not all the entourage stuff that they do, but
I don't think me and JC can do that. So.
The way think prices are going up, we'll be able to pay for the private jet. Hotel, that's another story. We'll just have to work that out later. But
well, let's see. That's my thing. I know like 2 people who live in Japan, and they've already said, hey, if you ever make it over here, you can crash and like on the floor or something. I'm like, hey, I will take the floor. I don't care.
And I'm sure the Murder Hawk would help you out too. So
no, I'm sure.
No, yeah. Do you not have to go through for that though? I have to.
Usually a table.
Do you want to go to Wrestle Kingdom or not?
Dude, you would go through a table to go to Wrestle Kingdom.
Sacrifice.
Out of here, Tommy.
That's why I bow my head like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I would. Anyway, sorry. Next match, IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Dangerous Tekkers defending against Chaos of Yoshihashi and Hirooki Goto. I'm picking first because I want Chaos to win this, damn it! I want Yoshihashi to finally win something! It's not fair! He was unceremoniously stripped of those, the Never Openweight 6 titles. I don't care if they lost in a match. That's not the point I'm making right now. The point is they had him for a year. They elevated those belts. Anyone who says otherwise wasn't paying attention. And Yoshihashi has been putting in so much work the past year, especially, and he needs a win here. Zack Sabre Jr. does not need a win. Taichi has won enough. He walks up to the ring with Mio Abe. He wins all the time. Hirooki Goto, how many times has he won at Wrestle Kingdom except for the world title, which sucks. But anyway, no, I want Yoshihashi and Goto to win because God, let Yoshihashi have something, please, for the love of God, just let him have something. Anyway, JC.
Yoshihashi and Goto will win a tag team championship, but it's not going to be till night 2. I want to stick. I'm sticking with the Dangerous Tekkers. This team right now is primed potentially to take over the tag team world by storm in New Japan. And I'll be honest with you, I fully expect them to hold these titles all damn year. There's a lot of hype around this team, and I really do kind of hope to see them hold it for a year and just destroy everybody that shows up.
You know what's funny? Originally, I would not have agreed with this team at all until I saw them work together. And then I was just like, damn it, who put them together? Because I 100% back this team now.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I still hate Taichi with a furious passion that I cannot express in human words. But...
yeah.
But I love the team.
I like this team, and I'd put them on a level. They could be, if there's any sort of talent sharing in the future, let's be honest here. I mean, these guys against FTR, the Briscoes, the Young Bucks. If there's any sort of like
Dangerous Tekkers I think is one of the teams that really flourished during the pandemic of they solidify themselves. So yeah, I can see that too.
Yep.
Mike, who you got?
Yeah, up until the last month, I think I would have agreed with JC about the Dangerous Tekkers, but Chaos has expanded a little bit, and I'm going to choose Chaos on a little caveat that they need to bring one specific member with them to this match. And that is Sue.
I knew that's what he was going to say.
Member of Chaos. And she needs to drop them off in the white van. Guaranteed victory. Guaranteed.
Okay, let me say this. The world fully opens back up. If we ever get a moment where anyone other than the best friends, I'm talking literally anybody, Yoshihashi, Goto, God, Ishii or Okada especially, get out of a van that Sue is driving, that's it. They have got to win everything that year, and there's no other debate to be had about that. So
expand it even further because they're in Japan and she's still driving on the right side of the road because she doesn't know that she's driving on the left side of the road. That'd be hilarious in Japan. Just throw it out there.
Oh my God, no! Not only that, she needs to drift into the little space.
With the Tokyo Drift music playing in the background. That'd be great.
No. Yeah.
Also, side note, one of the best soundtracks of those movies. Just gonna put that
Yes,
out there.
hands down. Hands down.
So, yeah, but
But it didn't have people on it. How could it?
to play devil's advocate, I see JC's point. They, like I said, Dangerous Tekker is really impressive.
Yeah,
okay.
But my point was Sue, Tommy. So I mean, come on.
Let's go.
Just when I think we're gonna get through these fast because I know so much about music, man. Mike brings the jokes, man. It's so worth the detour that we're doing.
Thank God we're just talking title matches. I'm just saying. So yeah.
Okay, so up next is a match that I honestly feel could steal the show. I wholeheartedly believe this. It's the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. El Desperado champion defending against Hiromu Takahashi. I have to admit, of all the matches, especially the ones we're talking about, this might be the one I'm most split over. Because, damn it if El Desperado hasn't impressed me the past few years, and ever since they decided to pull the trigger and give him the belt, he's been a worthy champion. So, I'll go first, and I'm going to say, in a shocking twist, I'm going to go with El Desperado. I usually never bet against Takahashi, but given the year Desperado has had, especially since he first won the belt during that triple threat match, which I could have swore Bushi was going to win. I had money on Bushi winning that match. When Desperado won, after Desperado won, I remember thinking to myself, that was the right call. I remember thinking that was the right call. So yeah, so I'm going to El Desperado. Do you want to go next?
I'm saying El Desperado too. I think he's prime. This is a big one. Like I know he doesn't have the best track record at Wrestle Kingdom, but I think this is a. You're right. This is going to steal night one. So
he didn't have the best track record wrestling. Period. It was like they never let him out of the gate, and now suddenly they did. I guess because the pandemic has like, hey, this is y'all's year. If you're here, y'all better prove it.
Yeah,
so.
they're going to reward these guys for being around, and yeah, I think you're same thing. These guys are former junior heavyweight tag team championships, so that's why I think this one's going to be a really, really good match. And like you said, steal the show. But yeah, I'm going to go with El Desperado with his hand raised at the end of it and keep the title. So.
All right, you guys got the technical analysis. Mm-hmm. I got Desperado as long as three things happen.
Oh boy,
dear Lord.
A, he's accompanied to the ring by Salma Hayek.
Could happen.
B, he comes down to Canción del Mariachi by Antonio Banderas and Los Lobos.
That's affordable.
And he wins this match with the tequila shot, which, if you remember, JC, is a pop-up cutter.
This was his creator wrestler finisher from WWF No Mercy on the Nintendo 64.
I think it was No Mercy. I think it was one of the ones where it was actually like SmackDown, one of the first.
Was it SmackDown? Okay, it was one of the. Oh yeah,
I think it was one of the first
creative finishers. I don't remember, but yeah, it was so good.
I don't think it was just a pop-up cutter, but I basically made Antonio Banderas from Desperado, and it was a pop-up cutter, and I called it the tequila shot, and it worked.
Yeah, you couldn't have a guitar case with guns and shoot, so that's kind of
no, apparently not.
But he could have a guitar. That would not be outside the possibility.
Yeah.
Oh, side note, I don't know if y'all guys heard this. Jeff Jarrett debuted at GCW.
I saw the clip.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, first of all, GCW, they have groundswell like nobody's business.
Yeah.
Look, bold prediction for this year: GCW will become the next ROH.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah.
I love the shows they put on. I would not be mad at that.
And I love how they pull in the former WWE guys to just be huge heels because they're former WWE guys.
That Cardona as a heel, I did not know I needed that until GCW did it. Oh my God, he was fantastic.
And then he said WWE was more developmental. That was the best.
Oh man, that was such a deserved line. He earned every bit of saying that line.
Yeah, he did.
Before we go into night two, I do want to call on a couple of
You're missing
matches.
one from night one, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You do have one more for night one. Yeah. So let me do that first.
Okay.
Thank you. I completely forgot that one already. The main event for night one, I'm more than positive. There's no way this isn't going to be.
Surprised you forgot this one. Yeah.
Well, I think it's because I'm also almost as split as I was on the junior heavyweight match. But IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, Shingo Takagi champion, defending against the G1 Climax winner. Everyone knows he's my favorite, Kazuchika Okada. You go first, because I'm still deciding.
You're really deciding? I thought Okada for sure would be the champion coming out of night one. So that's where I'm going with this one. But that ties into my night two. But I'm going to go with Okada night one.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Who you got?
I'm going to have to be serious for this one. I don't know if I can go against Okada at a Wrestle Kingdom. I know he's not perfect there, but it's like...
Ironically, he's not perfect when challenging for the belt. He's good when he's defending it. Him challenging, he has actually a rather poor track record.
Yeah, but it's still Okada at a Wrestle Kingdom, so I'm going to go with Okada for night one.
Yeah. Okay. Lone wolfing this, and here's why.
Oh boy, I'm surprised.
I'm going Shingo, but only for one reason. He expressed interest recently in challenging for the GHC Heavyweight Championship of Pro Wrestling Noah. The only reason why that changes my tone on who could win is because I don't think Okada cares about the other belts. I think Okada cares only about the IWGP Championship. Evidenced by the fact that he's using the IWGP Heavyweight Belt as his signal that he won the G1 Climax. Which, to be fair, I did not like that belt until Ospreay won it. So, I don't know. I feel like the company's really been behind Shingo, and I feel like everyone backstage has been behind Shingo because it's like you don't. He really was one of those guys who officially was an outsider. To me, he was a lifer in Dragon Gate. I thought Shingo Takagi would never ever leave Dragon Gate. I really did. When he showed up as a member of LIJ, I think my jaw dropped harder than anybody's. So I was like, "What the hell?" But I don't know. Him in a main event spot against Okada, I feel like they might give him the rub because I think he's been wrestling longer than Okada. I don't know.
I'll have to look that up. Yeah.
I have to look that up later.
You're the expert, buddy.
I think he has, but that's the only reason that gives me that pause. So, but we'll see. But if you two are right and I'm wrong, I am not hurt at all by that. I will happily be wrong on this one for all I know.
Okada has actually been wrestling 1 month and 5 days longer than Takagi.
Ow! Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they both made their debuts in 2004, but
it's like twins. I'm 13 minutes older than you.
I guess why I thought Shingo was wrestling long was because I heard of Shingo first because he went to ROH when ROH was partnering with Dragon Gate and Noah, they were trading talent all the time. They were going back and forth for years with that. Yeah. Okay, so that's night one for the championship matches. But before we move on, I do want to point out two matches that I'm looking forward to. Show versus Yo, the former RPG 3K, having a rematch. Actually, they already have one match. I think at the Super Dome shows they had during the summer. LIJ of Naito, Sonata, and Bushi against United Empire of Will Ospreay, Great Khan, and Jeff Cobb. That's going to be
Cobb wins.
But the one I am most looking forward to on the site, because I don't care who he wrestles, I could not give a damn less who they put against him, is Katsuri Shibata returning to the ring for a full-on match. After his 5-minute exhibition with Zack Sabre Jr., which also almost made me cry. Because did I tell you guys of how I found out about that match? Okay.
I don't think so.
So I think it was Power Stroke or something like that. So when I woke up that morning, because I knew the show happened last night, a friend of mine messaged me and said, do not look at any spoilers. Do not look at any spoilers. Go. He said, go to New Japan World, go to this timestamp and start watching. He said, do not read. He said, don't go anywhere online. Don't read a spoiler. Watch. And when I said, okay. So I saw Zach come out, and when Shibata's music hit, I was like the entire crowd in there. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, they haven't announced an opponent for that yet, but they have said it's going to be catch wrestling rules, so no strikes are allowed. That's kind of a technical only kind of thing. So
I think that they're still trying to keep him safe because I'm sure Shibata still wants to do a headbutt, which he should never ever do again. So for the love of God, Shibata, just never ever do a headbutt again, please. For the love of God, never do it again. But yeah, honestly, I don't care. I don't care what he's doing in the ring. I do not give a single damn. It's just, as long as he's in the ring, that's all I legitimately care about. So, But yeah, so I'm super excited for that and can't wait for that. Now, Night 2 is not at all short of amazing matches that are going to happen. Starting off with the championship match of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team championships. The team of Flying Tiger of Robbie Eagles and Tiger Mask,
Right.
which is a team I didn't know I would love until I saw it. Defending against the Mega Coaches, Ariski, Taguchi, and Rocky Romero, and I can't believe I'm saying this name. I really don't want to. Bullet Club's cutest tag team.
Is this the name they actually use?
Yes, it is.
They actually
It's
use.
they
That
actually
is
use.
correct.
That is awesome.
Oh god, Taiji Shimori and El Fantasma. I hate.
Well, I have a few
I
questions.
hate that name so much. I just can't stand that name. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, not them necessarily, but how many groups has Rocky Romero been a part of?
Officially, he's his since he came.
Is Mega Coaches a part of Chaos?
Technically, yes. Only because a couple years ago, Chaos kind of did an alliance with they call it the New Japan Army or the New Japan Main Unit, which is like just New Japan wrestlers in total. So they kind of formed an alliance with the regular New Japan. Because Chaos, when they were heels, they were like fighting against the New Japan Main Army.
Right.
So you had Bullet Club, Suzuki Gun, and LIJ come in, and Chaos was outnumbered, and so was the New Japan Main Army. So yeah, so technically it's an alliance of the New Japan Main Army and Chaos. Because Taguchi and Rocky Romero would wrestle each other for years prior to this, and then they tagged up. So yeah, but technically Rocky Romero has never left Chaos his like entire New Japan career.
So wasn't he also part of Roppongi?
Roppongi Vice was strictly Chaos.
Okay.
Because
it's a lot of different team names. Right.
Because that Roppongi Vice was him and Trent.
Right.
Roppongi 3K was just showing with him with Rocky.
Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
So, but Roppongi Vice and Roppongi 3K were strictly Chaos. They were 100% Chaos. So yeah, but yeah.
So
but to be fair, that's a worthy question you just asked.
No, but that just makes me think like that's something WWE or American wrestling needs to embrace more. Is like not only factions, but then each team within the faction having its own unique name. Like that's I don't know, just kind of funny.
I legitimately have always loved that about New Japan and other promotions that have done that. I think primarily when it comes to factions, New Japan, Noah, Dragon Gate, and Stardom are primarily the ones that do that a lot. But New Japan's always been because it's with Chaos. It really started when they first started because and I can't believe I'm giving him credit again. Toru Yano and Nakamura, they were like the Chaos top team. Damn it, JC, because they.
Any team with Toru Yano's the top team. It's fucking it's the way it is. Just saying.
How many props am I giving Toru Yano on this show? This is not gotta be a record.
Yeah,
because he's that good. That's why he's the king of
pro
wrestling.
Just tonight now, Tommy. No,
anyway, but yeah, well, because this all started when Rocky Romero and Davey Richards first came, because when they came to New Japan, they were the No Remorse Corps, which they were doing in Ring of Honor. They just took that name over there, and and Davey Richards had to leave for I can't remember why, but Rocky Romero stayed, and he just was tagging with everyone ever since. So, which is why he has the reputation he does as being one of the easiest people to work with, which is why literally everyone works with him. And I think that's really cool. It's just that's a good reputation to have. But okay, sorry. As far as this match goes, I'm picking Flying Tiger only because I love the team. And because as much as I love Romero and Taguchi, they haven't had a lot of success winning these belts. They've had a lot of success challenging for them, just never winning. And I can't stand the name that Ishimori and Phantasmo have there. What the hell? But okay. Yeah, I'm completely biased in this, and I don't care that I'm admitting it. Anyway, JC, who do you got?
This one's staying with Flying Tiger, although I wouldn't mind seeing this be the one team in Bullet Club that has gold. That'd be hilarious. So, but no, I think Flying Tiger is a great team, and like I said, like the name, Eagles mask, it's awesome. So, but I'm gonna stick with Flying Tiger to retain here. So,
Mike, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going Bullet Club's cutest tag team because I need you to have to say it next week when we recap.
Hell yeah.
Bullet Club's
I
cutest
feel
tag
like,
team
why do I
model.
feel like they're gonna win now simply because you put that out there?
You know, I have powers. I can't understand them. Sometimes it affects things. I don't know what to say.
I'll say this before we move on. I remember when they first started teaming, Tiger Mask said how honored he was to Robbie Eagles wanted to tag with him because he felt like because Juice Thunder Live, he's been wrestling forever, so he's like probably near the end of his career. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if even if this year, like another 2 years down the road, he says, you know what, I'm gonna hang it up now. I've done it long enough. I'm hanging it up. But but it was really cool. Robbie Eagles too. Because I'm sure there was a conversation of like, you know, we're gonna do this. Are you cool with it? I'm sure he was really gracious. Now, I mean, like, hell, I would want to tag with, you know, with Tiger Mask. That's awesome. But you know, for Tiger Mask to be like he was so honored to have that, it was just really emotional to read that. It was super cool of him to really think so highly of Robbie Eagles, and to Robbie Eagles to, you know, take the same, give it a full on name and everything. That's just really cool. Okay. So, next match, never openweight 6-man tag team bouts. Finally, not on the pre-show. Please, God. Because I've had enough of them being on the pre-show with this belt because I love these titles.
They're not. No.
House of Torture of that rat bastard evil. And, yeah, I said it. Who else is in this freaking team? I forget.
Yujiro Takahashi and Sho for House of Torture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those jackasses. Anyway, against Chaos, the Fukigoto, Yoshihashi, and Yo.
Yes.
Several reasons that I cannot even begin to name all in one sitting. I want Chaos to win this match so badly, and I think, you know, I think reasons I've already covered, but for even more than that. So I'm going Chaos right off the bat. Mike, you can go next. Who do you think?
Yeah, House of Torture is a really cool name, but again, Sue is in Chaos, so I can't bet against Chaos. So Chaos it is.
And JC.
Yeah, I said earlier that Goto and Yoshihashi would win a tag team title. This is the one they would win. Because I fully expect Evil and Sho to win their matches the night before. But I expect Yo and Goto and Yoshihashi to win on night 2 and take these titles, which always seem to change hands as it is anyway. So, but yeah. This is the one I expect.
Like I said, there was that. I couldn't believe it when they made it a whole year without those belts changing hands before. And then they had, I think, 9 successful defenses. I think I even made a post about it on Instagram. I was like so hyped. I was like, 9 defenses, bitches! But
that sounds like you.
It does, doesn't it? But my thing is like I also kind of. I'm also happy that, you know, because Yujiro Takahashi, another guy who's been wrestling forever and never really gets a main card match, I'm kind of happy for him too. Him and Yoshihashi, dude, it's like they just. I mean, it's not that they're bad, just that they like Yoshihashi especially. Him and Okada came back the same year from Excursion. I was like, that's bad timing for Toru Yoshihashi. Yeah, when you return the same year as the dude who was kind of destined to be the ace of the company. So it's just cool to see them both get main card matches on Wrestle Kingdom. That's awesome for them. Okay, a match that I feel like is very interesting on paper alone. IWGP United States Championship, no disqualification. This is Hiroshi Tanahashi. JC, you go first on this one because I'm gonna say my pick for the end, and I'll tell you why.
This is right down Kenta's wheelhouse. No DQ, U.S. title. He's been a complete asshole since he came back to Japan, and this is why I stays with Kenta. Especially, you want this name that people know stateside as well. If they're going to be really picking up New Japan of America and him going back and forth, I think this is the right thing. That being said, I think this could potentially be the best match of the entire weekend. And I fully expect this to be bloody on some level. So
me too.
I got Kent on this one.
Mike?
You know, it's funny you say that, JC, because I was literally thinking along the same lines. Like, I know you can say that about several matches that are probably going to happen over these 2 nights, but I feel like this one has a real sense of being a match of the year candidate for 2022 Electric Boogaloo. But
nailed it. There you go, Dad.
I don't know if I can go against Tanahashi again, I know he's not perfect and he probably doesn't always win, but it's Tanahashi at a Wrestle Kingdom.
I will say he has a higher percentage than Okada does at Wrestle Kingdom.
So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Tanahashi. I think JC's right. I think it'll be brutal and bloody. But I think I'm going to go Tanahashi.
Okay. I'm actually going with JC and saying Kenta. And also, here's why. This goes back to this Pro Wrestling Noah stuff they're doing. Apparently, and I almost missed this, but apparently, Kenta invaded a Noah show recently after Segura defended the GHC National Championship successfully. Apparently, he just showed up randomly and started shit. So, again, yeah, me too. It's like, again, with this cross-promotion, Forbidden Doors just being kicked open, and Kenta is like the guy who is really appearing everywhere. He's the Japanese Rocky Romero, which is ironic because Rocky Romero is in Japan. So, he's just like, I mean, the hype moment when he showed up at AEW, oh my god. I 6 to midnight, as Mike says, just like immediately, just when he showed up.
Thank you, saving Sarah Marshall.
Hey, also, by the way, hilarious movie.
Yeah,
love it.
But when he showed up at AEW, I was just like, especially with his nasty attitude now, like the hatred he has for literally everything alive, especially Twitter. Oh my god, he hates Twitter so much, and honestly, I don't blame him. But it's like his hatred for Twitter is what also is like. He hates Twitter so much. I said, is he a heel or a face? I'm really confused now.
Hey,
is he supposed to be getting over?
Quick question: if he shows up in AEW again, who calls him Hideo first, MJF or Punk?
Punk.
Punk, 100%. Like Punk. Yeah, because that's the battle to go to sleep. It's got to be Punk.
Unless MJF is doing commentary, then he'll call him, "Oh my God, it's Hideo Itami," or whatever his name was.
Not that I don't love AEW and their references. Not that I'm trying to say they're really starting to go a little overboard with them. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but I don't know. And also, to me, like Jason said, Kenta has like brand power because he's been almost everywhere now. It's like he's also like the guy who's probably like the best to work with backstage, but he's like great at being a natural jackass. So I can't believe I said that. Yeah, it does, and like. I remember back when he was in ROH the first time, he was like so over then, but he would be a jackass to the guys he needed to, Bryan Danielson, because Bryan Danielson brings that out of literally everybody. So man, see, this is also why I hope ROH comes back, because I always wanted Kenta to win the ROH World Title. Because he was so close on so many occasions, and like I always hope he would. So we'll see, but rumor is they still have their April return date, so you never know, it could still happen. Okay, and a Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. That thing New Japan did first that WrestleMania is copying. What? Did I say that? What? I'm tripping. I didn't mean that. I totally did.
You meant it.
The winner of Night 1, either Takagi or Okada versus the man who claims he never truly lost the belt in the first place, and many agree with him, Will Ospreay. I'll go first because I was thinking about this back and forth, and I kind of want to think they might swerve us and have Ospreay win this time. I think they might, because I think that was the feeling when Jay White was gonna do. Like, I felt like they might have were pulling that trigger with Jay White last year when they were unifying the belts. But I feel like this year, especially with the pandemic, injury, Ospreay's natural heel side, which I did not know he was this good at until he did it. The fact that I think the only reason he really did leave was just to take care of the injury, and he would have never left Japan had it not been for that.
Right.
I feel like they especially with him giving him his own faction. I feel like whenever New Japan gives someone their own faction, that's like the ultimate sign of trust. It's like, yeah, you're going to be a big deal. It's a group of guys for you to be in charge of. So I think Ospreay is going to take it this time. I feel like either Shingo or Okada might win it later in the year, but I feel like for Wrestle Kingdom, I'd be Ospreay. JC, who you got?
That has been my plan on this, is that Okada, who we said is not of the best track record with challenging for the title, would get the win on Night 1. And for him to have such a good track record defending the title of Wrestle Kingdom, he would lose it on night 2. I'm going with Ospreay. I'm agreeing. He never lost it. This is a perfect storyline for him to take back what is rightfully his and have a run with it. So,
and in your favor, JC, since they started doing this 2 years ago, Okada doesn't have a good track record with night 2 matches. So,
that's my thought is he'll win night 1, but Ospreay is going to be sitting there waiting on night 2, and he'll be ready. So I'm picking Ospreay.
Mike, who you got?
Yeah, they're going to make this a clean sweep.
Wow.
Okay.
I know I said on night 1 that it's hard to bet against Okada versus on a Wrestle Kingdom, but at the same time, in very similar, like it would also be a good place for him to put over Ospreay to help continue his rise as a villain. Like you said, legitimize his saying of he never really lost it. So, yeah.
So those are the title matches, but before we move on to anything else, I turn the reins back over to JC. A couple of other matches for night 2 that are pretty big. One, I'm going to go ahead and just kick it off the bat for Mike. Jeff Cobb versus Tetsuya Naito.
Ooh.
How excited are you for that, first of all?
Crush him. Give him a nice fancy tour of the islands.
Well, I will say, I think I said this before we started, the fact that Cobb is getting this match with arguably one of the biggest aces that New Japan has.
Yep.
Probably, especially right now. That's huge to me. It's like that's a huge sign of trust from the company to give this match to, especially like I'm guessing it's going to be pretty high up in the card. It'll probably be right before the title matches.
It is. They've already announced the order. It's going to be right before the U.S. title match. And the U.S. title match is right before the main event, which is, of course, the World Heavyweight Championship. So
basically, it's Mike's main event. He'll watch that and then turn off the rest and wait for us to talk about everything else.
It's the latest match on the card that doesn't have any titles on the line. And had it not been for Kenta Tanahashi, I think this would have been the match of the night. Naito Cobb. I fully expect it to be that good. Yeah,
I think they have the best contrast of styles that'll complement each other well.
Yeah,
So I think Naito's used to working with guys who could crush him. So
and let us not also forget that 2022 Electric Boogaloo is the year that we manifest and bring to life Rock Island. Cobb and Jonah Rock.
I will go crazy
as the monster tag team to knock down every forbidden door because they're just going to walk through it. And destroy everybody. It's what I need in my life.
I can't name a door that would stop them. But go ahead, JC. Sorry.
I really hope not to say Cobb couldn't beat Naito by himself, but I really hope Jonah Rock shows up and sets up that tag team. That would be great for them to run.
That would be awesome.
That'd be something to pull off. Another match on night 2. I want to shout out. Stardom's going to have one match in this entire thing. Mayu Iwatani, Starlight Kid against Tam Nakano and Saya Kamitani. And it is not on the pre-show. It is actually the second match on the main card of night 2.
It's not, and also everyone's on the pre-show. It's not a dark match. It is on the main card.
Yes, that's very good to see. So,
yeah. Quick tidbit. I'm gonna try. Hopefully, if everything works out this year, to get Stardom World because past 2 events, I've seen highlights of them. I haven't watched them yet because I want to actually pay Stardom to watch these because I feel like they deserve it. If anyone has Stardom World, from what I've seen, what I've heard, the last 2 events they had, their 2 big events, were must see. Utami, who was in the top 10 for the PWI Women's 500, Women's 100 or 150, she actually lost the belt to Sayuri, Donna Del Mondo. It was a title for title match because she's the SWA World Champion. And I heard it was like a knockdown drag out, and because they always make magic, those two. They're a good modern day rivalry. And it's one of Sayuri's like few world titles. She's been wrestling a while. She's even a former tag team partner with Hikaru Shida. Won a lot of tag team belts all over Japan, and so it's really cool to see her, with Stardom's main belt. So if people who have New Japan World, I strongly advise checking out those shows if you haven't already. People who don't have New Japan, Stardom World, if you don't have it yet, I'm one of the people who, if you're sick of the WWE, Stardom World instead. And even if you just look for more wrestling to watch, Stardom World, because I guess I'm just an advocate for that. I think I'm sick of this narrative that women's wrestling isn't as good. I'm just sick of that story because whether it's misogynistic, sexist, whatever you want to call it, it's just not a fact. Women's wrestling is just as good, if not better, than a lot of or most men's wrestling. And give it a shot. Watch it. Give it a shot for a month. And my thing is, don't just watch anything and say, oh, and based on that, find the best matches. I mean, do like you do for any other promotion. If you're going to start a new promotion, what's the best match of this company? Ask someone who watches it. They would start them. Give them a shot.
Give it an honest chance. Yeah.
And with that, JC, I will turn it back over to you.
Yeah, I'll just shout out what the little event details here. So as you've seen on our screen here, and what I'll show you right now with this graphic too, there are 2 separate logos for Wrestle Kingdom. And the reason is because Night 1 and Night 2, of course, are going to be on the Tokyo Dome, January 4th and 5th. I believe New Year's Dash is going to be also on the 6th, like normal. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tommy. Night 3 is January 8th. That's in the Yokohama Arena. Most of those matches are a lot of like tag team matches. There's no titles on the line. There's some singles matches, but that is going to be filmed and then put on New Japan World later, so you can watch that at a later time. And
the big deal for that is like it's New Japan versus Noah.
That's the main thing with that. Now, as far as Night 1 and Night 2 Wrestle Kingdom, those start in about 3 hours and 45 minutes. Night 1, 2 a.m. Central Time for us. Tommy's going to be getting some coffee in a little bit once we wrap up the show here and getting ready.
Yeah.
You can watch it on New Japan World, or if you don't have New Japan World,
which you should,
you can actually get it on Fight TV this year. If you want to buy just the nights separately, they're $20 each, or you can get the bundle both nights for $30 on Fight TV. Give it a shot. Obviously, you don't have to watch it live on Fight TV. You can always buy it after the fact and watch it on demand. But yeah, this is going to be a fun show. Fun both nights. I think that we just covered the title matches, but there's so much to these shows. But that's the price points on those. New Japan World, I believe, is $9.99 a month. Is what the exchange rate works out to. So
it's 99 yen, which translates about $9.90 a month, more or less. Yeah.
There you go. So
strictly for the American conversion rate, yeah.
So yeah, that's Wrestle Kingdom. Thank you, Tommy, for hosting. Always a fun time, I know, with you. So now,
most wonderful time of the year.
If you're seeing this later on, let us know your thoughts on Wrestle Kingdom. If you're going to be staying up, seeing it after the fact, just come back here, comment, and let us know what you think. Now, we're going to move into our year-end awards for 2021. The first time we did this was last year. We said we'd be more organized this year. That just didn't happen because shit just got crazy. But
like all New Year's resolutions.
Yes. Right. We just kind of blew that out of the water. Well, there's always next year, right?
Speaking of day 3.
Yeah. So some of the awards we're going to present, we're going to have Male Wrestler of the Year, Female Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Promotion of the Year, Match of the Year, Pay-Per-View or Event of the Year, and then, of course, I'll announce who the Tez Award winner is this year as well. These are the main ones we're going to be giving out, but we're also going to be coming up with our own personal superlative awards, if you will. So,
yeah.
We'll start with Male Wrestler of the Year, and the way I want to do it this time is I know I didn't send a message out with anybody, and you guys are more than welcome to weigh in if you're watching this live as well. Who do you guys nominate, or who should be deserving of Male Wrestler of the Year? Tommy, what about? Let's start with you.
I can think of a few names, but purely, I gotta say purely based on like storylines and how they booked him. Really, one of mine's got to be Hangman Page.
Okay.
Like I feel like the build up for that and the execution to me was kind of perfect. I have a few others that are like purely heart picks, but he's definitely one. I have a few more, but you know.
All right, Mike.
I mean, he's definitely up there for me, and I would definitely choose his for storyline of the year. But I think for me, rest of the year is going to be Bryan Danielson.
Okay.
Mainly because he did it at such a high level in 2 different companies without feeling to really miss a beat. I mean, he was in the main event of WrestleMania, or and pretty much got himself into a WrestleMania match, main event, toward the end of that run there, and then in a short span in AEW had two of the best matches, which are probably both easily candidates for matches of the year. So for me, between not skipping, but switching companies and pretty much staying at the top of his game, I'm going to go with Danielson.
Mine is similar. In fact, it's somebody that was around a lot of companies this year, but he held titles in all these companies, and I gotta go Kenny Omega for my nominee.
Okay.
It was honestly between him and, on some extent, Roman Reigns. Heel Roman has been great this year. Hasn't lost a match, has been successful. I think he's held the Universal title the entire year as well.
Yeah, he has.
But Omega, I think, for all the wear and tear on his body, traveling, holding the Impact Championship, the AAA Championship, AEW, and building up that story as well. You mentioned the match he had with Bryan Danielson, just the time limit draw to open up Dynamite that one day. It was just insane. But my nominee is Kenny Omega. Now, we can kind of discuss this. What do you guys think? Who should be crowned?
Do we need to choose one, or do we choose our own individual? Do we need to have like the official count, WrestleCast award winner?
I don't know if we really do right now. I mean, I could always put up to a vote on Twitter if you want, but I mean, we kind of choose who we want. I guess we can go with that. Now, obviously, if two of us or more nominate the same person, well, then that's an obvious one, right? So,
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if you asked the three of us to vote, we'll be like, well, we just voted because we nominated a person.
Yeah.
Let's move in then to female.
But in the chat, tell us what you think.
Yeah, if you're chatting, let us know. Who do you think it should be?
Yeah.
Female wrestler of the year.
Another tough one.
But and this one kind of goes back to last year, if you guys recall. Who do we think was the best released wrestler of last year? I said Deonna Purrazzo, and my nominee for female wrestler of the year is Deonna Purrazzo. And even though she lost the Impact Championship, she's already thrown her name in the hat to get it back. A, and B, want to unify with the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So Deonna Purrazzo backed up her shit talking that she said when she got released, and really, I think, made a name for herself. So I got Deonna. Mike, who do you have as your nominee?
I mean, honestly, if you told me that was the winner, I wouldn't even argue that much. But there's a couple people I feel had really strong years. But I think for me, I'm going to go for Thunder Rosa. Never won. I mean, didn't win the AEW title. She had the NWA title for a bit at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So I think she was real solid. Again, another one that was, I guess, technically signed with NWA at the beginning of the year, and then just through sheer how good she was, basically got signed to AEW and moved over to them. And I just think her matches have been impressive. She's always at the top of her game. And I think, I know it was like right at the end of the year, but the fact that with as much as they pushed Jade Cargill as a monster, they had to have a shenanigans finish to have her beat Rosa speaks a lot. That's how strong they wanted to keep Thunder Rosa looking, to get Mercedes Martinez, involved. So, for me, it's Thunder Rosa.
Okay. Tommy, what about you?
I'm torn between your two, and I have one more. Only reason why. Okay, so I'm gonna go with JC and say Deonna Purrazzo. I definitely agree with Thunder Rosa. There's one more person whose name. Well, two more people I want to throw in. Utami from Stardom, because of her title reign was fantastic. Also, I want to throw in Serena Deeb. I really do, because I did not see her have a bad match all year whenever she wrestled. I was like, I know she didn't wrestle as much as everyone else to the point where you could talk about as much, but it was like when she wrestled, it was a big deal. But like when they did All Out in the opening bout when she was women's champion against Riho, I mean, I get that. I mean, like, not only was that one of the best free matches that happened all year, another good contender was Suzuki and Danielson, which also was Suzuki was also another guy I was going to pick. But it's like any other show, Riho and Deep that could have been the main event. I'll say Deonna Purrazzo for sure, but it's like there were so many. It felt like there were so many choices this year, as opposed to like other years in wrestling where like you could say Trish Stratus and you could literally only say Trish Stratus and that was like the first beginning end of that list. But now it's like there were so many women who were so good this year, and it was so awesome to see. So yeah, but yeah, I'll go Deonna.
All right. Bernsey is nominating Sue as the female wrestler of the year.
Well, I just assumed, like, I assumed we were just voting for second place, right? I thought
I know.
That was just.
We were just voting for second place. I just got what you said.
Also, in all seriousness, I just real quick want to legit though, because probably not for the top woman of the year, but I want to throw like an improve or like made big jumps this year to both Statlander and Ty Conti. Just really showing up in big matches this year. Statlander, like we've talked about before, just become one of my favorite because I love her character in The Best Friends. I love that she's also a member of Chaos because she's in Best Friends. And she was Sue's bodyguard at that last time Sue was out there. And then Ty Conti has really been stepping it up. I thought when her and Anna Jay kind of were doing the Best Friends thing, I thought Anna Jay was kind of better. I'm not saying Anna Jay's bad, but I think Ty Conti's kind of really picked it up this year and maybe vaulted a little bit ahead.
Ty Conti, I think, made an even further believer out of me during her match with Britt Baker at Full Gear.
Right.
Terry also says he would say performer of the year would be Paul Heyman, not wrestler performer. Yeah. So
I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman, the whole like thing between him and Roman, and Brock, I thought was like some of the best work WWE was doing that whole year.
I'm gonna hold up my big sarcasm sign. What about the guy from America's Top Team? That guy
Out.
What about Dan Lambert?
Tag team of the year. This one for me is actually pretty fairly easy. It's the Young Bucks. I think for me it's they kind of just took that division by storm in AEW, who arguably that tag team division was really strong. Now, that being said, I fully expect the Inspiration to be winning this award next year. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. So, but I'd say the Young Bucks as a tag team was just phenomenal. It's hard for them. They were internet darlings, and they still managed to get people to hate them and still hold championships. So, I kind of got to go with them. So, Tom?
They love it. They love being hated so much. My tag team of the year is actually the Lucha Bros.
Okay.
Because I feel like this is the bigger reason. For all the starts and stops them as a group with Death Triangle, including Pac, have had because of COVID, the traveling, even despite all the starts and stops, because couldn't travel. Like they say, you can fly. No, you can't fly. You can cross the border. No, you can't cross the border. Blah blah blah. Blah. All sorts of stops. They never lost momentum, in my opinion. Because when it felt like Pac was going to, then he had that match with Andrade on Dynamite on Rampage, and they killed. It was amazing. Lucha Bros, same thing. They had all that uncertainty of coming back and forth. They finally managed to work it out. Been pretty consistent. A steel cage tag match was unbelievable. So I gotta go Lucha Bros because to me they absolutely killed it this year.
All right, Mike, what about you?
I mean, I don't know how no one's mentioning RK Bro. No, I'm just kidding.
They're the funniest tag team of the year, in my opinion. But yeah,
there's something.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go with Tommy on this one. My thought was the Lucha Bros, and I mean I don't mean to speak negatively of the Young Bucks. I mean they are actually amazing, and maybe to a certain extent, there's actually more of a taking them for granted, just because they're the Young Bucks and they're always going to show up. But I felt like when they were together and when the big matches were on, the Lucha Brothers or the Lucha Bros were just putting on amazing matches, and oftentimes with the Bucks. So there's definitely that part to it. But yeah, for me, I'm going to go with the Lucha Brothers as well because when they're together, when they're on, their stuff is just amazing, and Phoenix with some of the things he does. And then, it's just...
if it's actually revealed that the metagene is real and Phoenix is actually a metahuman, I will not be surprised in the least bit. If they reveal that the metagene is real, the first person I'm going to say is, "Oh, so Ray Phoenix is a metahuman."
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, Terry put in our chat the injury that he had too was a setback for them. Yeah, so
Yeah.
And see to me that's another thing. It's like they had like those setbacks, but still when they came back, it's like when they came back, they were trying to prove that they were worthy of all the attention in the first place, which is not a bad thing to want to prove. I just feel like that's what they were doing every match they had, and it's and it showed. Like and honestly, they had great and funny matches with FTR. I don't know why there was that. I don't know why that balance happened so well, but to me, those matches were both great and hilarious.
Yeah.
I guess because FTR are kind of natural comedians to me. But they're just some two hilarious guys.
Oh, none of us said FTR.
Tough competition this year, man.
Yeah.
it was, but this Briscoe's FTR thing, oh Lord, I can't wait for that.
Oh
Yeah.
man! Whenever that happened, everyone kept saying like, when did they show up at AEW? And I kept saying, I don't care if it's AEW. They can literally show up at the Briscoe's farm, their ring. I will buy Fight TV for. I did like the Briscoe's FTR, $30 on Fight TV. Well, there goes
Oh my God!
30.
I just want to see FTR in their Midnight Express robes showing up at their chicken farm or whatever. I would think them.
Bro, man, that's great. Just
Oh, it would be.
the trigger, guys. Just
This next one I have a feeling might be unanimous. Promotion of the year.
Oh, I don't know.
And it's probably going to be a repeat award for us, but AEW stepped it up, and
that we're going. I thought it was clearly WWE. I thought they.
Okay, Tommy, let's not be ridiculous. It's NXT 2.0.
He's going to slap you guys.
Of course it's AEW.
Yeah,
It's AEW. No disrespect to any other company, but yeah.
pay-per-view is just phenomenal. It's been amazing.
To all the wrestlers in WWE who have worked their hardest to make chicken salad out of the chicken-ass writing that they get and storylines, I love you guys, and sometimes I feel bad. I know you still got a big audience because you're WWE, but I get so excited for AEW and the stuff they put on this year, man. Like it's been a while since I was that excited for so many things.
For them to start up a second show, adjust and still bring in ratings when they had to work around NBA games and now NHL this year too, because TNT has that contract, and them still advertising and making obviously that's a 2022 thing, but they made a transition to TBS. I'm sure it's going to go well. They've done a fantastic job. Now there's a little bit of controversy towards the end of the year. We might talk a little bit about that, but that's that's youth. The fact is, they're still learning, and they're making these strides.
And I was going to say, and the little controversy they had, and honestly, that's still not the worst thing that they could be going through.
No, it's not. And honestly, Terry, the slamming goes to AEW. It's hilarious. But yeah, this little controversy, I'll just say it was stuff taken out of context, to be honest with you, and some news. It was just horrible reporting.
And like I said, and to me, everyone came out. No one handled the situation well. It's just
FTR.
bad movements. That's all.
They brought CM Punk back to wrestling. Bryan Danielson's back.
And Owen Hart.
They're
planning that in.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
Adam Cole. Who would have thought at the beginning of the year the Undisputed Era would have started at NXT and ended in AEW? So
I don't know if you guys saw this meme that someone said, Triple H was right. And it was with Dynamite being off on Wednesdays and the show ending with the Undisputed Era winning. And I was like, he just didn't predict it the way he thought he was predicting it.
All I need for them to do, though, at one time when they're out there as a trio is go.
Yeah. But do it on the other hands so that it's not a trademark, right? So that way
there'll be the error. That way there'll be the error that you cannot dispute, or I don't know. I lost.
No, wait, what was? I know someone threw down the chat, and I did that thing again where I just look up synonyms, and it was But
B Ninja, good to see you, man. We're going through our year-end awards right now. We've already talked Wrestle Kingdom Talk. You can check that out later. So we just crowned AEWR Promotion of the Year.
Oh,
for
be
the
Ninja. Hope it's all going okay, man.
Second year in a row.
Hope you're doing okay.
Now here's a hard one. Match of the Year. I already know who mine is. I'll throw mine out there because this match has stuck in my head, and there's been so many great ones. But the one I always keep coming back to was Sasha Banks against Bianca Belair at WrestleMania.
That's a good one. That's
For
really
that to
good
main
choice.
event the first night of Mania. But that's not to say the triple threat between Edge, Daniel Bryan, and I believe it was Roman Reigns as well.
Yeah.
A match that should have never happened. You know?
Yeah.
Guys that, for one reason or another, may have been told they were never going to wrestle again. That was great.
Yeah.
But the hype, Sasha and Bianca, was amazing. And that match was just damn near perfect.
And they lived up to it.
Yeah.
Lived up to that hype.
So that is my match of the year nominee. I'll leave it to you guys. Whoever wants to go next.
I have a few. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was same thing. It's a really tough decision, and I think for me, partially, this one I'm going to choose because it kind of like Taker versus Shawn 1 is my favorite match of all time, and it's enhanced because of not just the match, but the storyline and the whole build of it being a WrestleMania. This match, as the culmination of what may be the greatest story told over the last several years of professional wrestling, I think I'm going to go Hangman Omega when Hangman finally wins it. Because, I mean, it may not have been the best technical match, but just everything that they had built for that story and just sitting there with the, like, don't screw this up, it's so simple. And they pulled it off, and they pulled it. And I'm sorry, and I know we bag on them all the time now, but that's what watching WWE for years has done to
You're
me.
right, though.
You
That's
assume
why
they're
I'm
going to
You're not
screw
wrong.
you over
You're
as a
not,
fan. You just assume there's some screwing you over as a fan coming, and AEW didn't. And it was such a cool emotion to finally see Hangman. And especially there was a little doubt early in the year when Punk got signed and Daniel Bryan got signed. And we were like, maybe they missed their boat with Hangman, and then they didn't. So, your match too. I mean, Bianca and Sasha was amazing. Like, I feel like there's about 5 or 6 matches that if you said it was match of the year, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm good. But for me, that's the one.
Okay.
Okay. So I have one for sure, and I want to tell you why I picked. But I want to give a special shout out to one that happened one happened before. It's my honorable mention. It's actually the first match they had, Syuri and Utami from Stardom. It was earlier in the year. It was later in the year, but it was before the one they just had, and I think it ended in a draw. I just want to call out that one as a special mention. But the one I'm going to go with the reason I'm going with it is not. But let me be clear. I agree with you two wholeheartedly. This match had not have happened, I'd have easily gone one of yours. But the reason I'm going this one is because it's between two guys I never thought I'd get to see wrestle each other. It was for free on YouTube, and it's still up. It's Danielson and Suzuki. Because that was just like my fantasy booking, in my opinion. I thought there was never a chance I'd ever see that match. It was a fantasy booking match for me. And the fact that we got it for free on YouTube, it's still up. The fact that it was almost done as a spite move. The fact that it was so well built, though, it was like not only that, it was such a real match. It was like you honestly thought, oh man, Suzuki might win this one. Damn. So it was such a good match, and it was just like. Didn't slack. Suzuki never slacks. I don't think he can. I don't think he has a slack maneuver. I don't think he has a slack in his body to do that. Danielson would never. It was like they treated it like it was a pay-per-view match. It was like airing on a random Friday, on a Rampage buy-in taping, But yeah, I love the realness of that. I love that it was like it was a dream match that I think Tony Khan wanted to see more than anybody. so yeah. Another honorable mention, because I don't think this match gets enough love, is CM Punk and Eddie Kingston at Full Gear.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the high holy hell, that Oro Kid at the beginning, I was like, if this was the match, I'm actually good. The fact they went for like 10 more minutes after, like 10 or however long the match was after that was really
it wasn't long, but they beat the crap out of each other.
I feel like that's the thing with Eddie Kingston matches. They don't have to be long, and they're still some of the best ones on the card. Like him and Miro. Him and Miro did not get enough love. Did not get enough love in their match. And I was like, everyone was like talking trash about it. I was like, what match were you watching? That match was fantastic. So yeah.
Terry says Kenny versus Bryan Danielson at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
That was also a.
Yeah, he's got that top 5. I think everybody has that as top 5 of the year. Yeah, definitely.
Man, I don't know if there's anything we can say about that match. Everyone else hasn't already said.
Yeah, for sure.
And 60-minute Hangman Danielson.
Yep.
I feel like that match solidified Hangman as the main event guy more than anything. You can go with Bryan Danielson for any length of time, especially to an hour time limit.
Yes.
That solidifies you. People have got to start putting you in their top 20 at least.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go in now. You got to. So
you got to be in my Fave 5 now.
All right, pay-per-view / event of the year, and honestly, the nominees are basically off of our WrestleCast ratings. So, and this is going to be fun because the nominees are the 3 shows that we gave a full-on 5.0. AEW Double or Nothing, AEW All Out, and AEW Full Gear.
Okay. Since AEW is still new, I'm still trying to memorize the schedule of which one is which. So let's just be honest. Which was the one with Punk's first match, Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole debut?
All Out.
All Out.
Yeah, that's the one for me.
That's the one for me too. That one had the internet just blowing the fuck up. So
I gotta go with the crowd on this one. I mean, like some things are obvious because they are right. I feel like Full Gear was the perfect sequel to that movie.
Yes.
But I think on a wrestling level, I would actually give it to Full Gear. But on an emotional level of what it meant for wrestling fans, I think you almost have to go All Out because CM Punk. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole, but also an honorable mention of D. That's the first time we heard Adam Cole's theme song. So, and little did we know. Oh wait, what didn't Ruby Soho debut at that show?
She showed up in the Casino Battle Royal, I believe.
Yeah.
So that was another one. Yeah. Terry also agrees All Out.
And I know we should have mentioned it earlier, but there's my leading nominee for Women's Wrestler of the Year in 2022, Electric Boogaloo.
Ruby Soho, for sure.
Just started killing it. I mean, now that she's actually allowed to wrestle.
Exactly.
I think you know what someone said, and I wanted to bring this up. They said, "What's the difference between Andrade's booking and AEW and what's WWE?" I said, "The fact that we see him on a regular basis." that's what I want to say. What's the difference in his booking? The fact that we know he's there. I would say that's the difference. I didn't want to start a fight, so I didn't say anything. So.
All right. Now the Tez Award for the year. It's actually been a full year since we lost Tez, and it was so sudden. Not COVID related, for those who are wondering. He was such an amazing part of the WrestleCast, and one thing he was always famous for was he wasn't on every show, but when he showed up and made picks, he just damn near made every correct one. He was probably arguably the smartest guy we've ever had on this show.
Just wasn't fair.
It really was not. So
did the show week in, week out. He'd show up twice and then win everything. It's like, no, how are you doing this?
So for those wondering, how do we crown the Tez Award? So the Tez Award goes to the WrestleCaster that made the most correct, or that basically had the best correct pick percentage, and they had to have had picked at least half of the pay-per-views that we picked for the entire year. Tina was our winner last year, the inaugural one. I will say, of the 3 people that are eligible, myself, Tommy, and Mike, we all got over 60% correct.
Okay.
But the winner this year, with 66.36% of their picks correct, is Mike. Congratulations. You are the Tez Award winner for 2020.
Wow.
It was going to be him eventually. I was like what he did, I was shocked. I was like, it's got to be Mike at some point. So.
Well, that's awesome, and I wanted to be serious for a moment, but I think Tez would also appreciate some jokes.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool. And guys, this podcast has just been so much fun, and some pay-per-views, it makes me laugh, and I guess it's just because I've been watching wrestling my whole life that even when I mess around with picks, or I don't know all the details of what's going on in Impact or New Japan, and somehow I still
games.
War games.
War games.
But that's super cool. I appreciate it. We do miss you, Tez, and I'll try to do right by you with this award. So yeah, let's see how we start with
I
this.
swear his next year it's going to be 2021 Tez Award winner.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm putting it on my resume now. So
Go for it. I think Tina already
I
added it
say
to
do
hers.
it.
So, Tommy was at 63.93% correct, and I was at 61.82% correct. And actually, the funny part is the only other people that made picks, and there was Tina. She didn't pick half of them. She got 55.36 correct. Ted got half of his picks correct. He was like, he said his pick,
one match.
Yeah, he picked one match in the Rumble, got that right, and then he went 3 out of 4, 3 out of 7, 3 and 4 at the Money in the Bank. And then, of course, Joe was on a show talking WrestleMania. He got half of his right. And then Jerry from Tiger Driver Radio talking NXT. He went 6 and 4. So,
nice.
But yeah, that was. Congrats, Mike. It's pretty awesome. We'll see how 2022 goes. So if
Let's see how it goes.
Repeat it.
I think I need to start taking these picks less seriously.
Yeah.
And my percentage will just improve.
Terry called John. He's already calling you Lance Storm, by the way. Now the fun part of this is, we had the serious awards, the standard awards, but if you guys have any fun awards you want to give out here to kind of close this awards ceremony out, does anybody have a fun one to go with here? Mike, you always have some good ones.
Well, obviously, my wish you would go somewhere else so he could be better used award. Without a doubt, the unanimous winner again for the 7th straight year of his career. Cesaro.
Yep. Agreed.
Also, the Please Come Back Soon award because you were the only thing that made SmackDown worth watching. The Bailey. Ding dong, hello.
No.
Still holding out for my my secret couple.
Yeah.
Never know.
Tommy, you got one or?
Oh, I thought of one. All right.
All right, go for it.
It's the Traitor of the Year award. It goes to that son of a bitch evil. It's the Traitor of the Year award, and I don't care. I don't care if it was 2020. He's still a traitor because he's constantly done this over and over again. He is nothing. Traitor of the Year. Because I refuse to not acknowledge this fully. So he's a traitor. He still is, and I'm not entirely sure that him and Bullet Club are going to stay together now that he has his own subgroup. I don't know where House of Torture came from, and why is Takahashi in it all of a sudden? Where did that come from? Although I will admit, Yo got some pretty kick-ass duds out of it. He's pretty sweet attire. So yeah, but Traitor of the Year absolutely goes to I don't care if it was 2020. I'm sticking with what I said.
I have a couple to hand out, and I would say one is best post-release career, if you will, post-WWE's career, and it's Matt Cardona.
Hands down.
My God, that heel turn! I want to see it everywhere now.
Yeah.
I really do. That just his heel turn GCW, how much he is hated, how much he enjoys it, just goes for it. It's awesome.
Yeah, the fact that Mike Cardona got booed out of any building because it's just mind blowing to me because the fact that he actually customized the GCW.
So amazing, so amazing.
It was so good. He turned heel so fast.
The thing is, I wouldn't even call that the top heel moment of the year.
Oh.
My top heel moment of the year is Moose.
Oh God! I
Just
forgot this. Yep,
Cashing
you're
in
right.
and just taking the title from Josh Alexander with his family in the ring was at Bound for Glory was just one of the best I've seen in recent years. It's amazing. The
Right.
hate he got, it was
God.
so awesome. I'm never gonna forget that.
And
Yeah,
Level
So
of
good.
evil.
yeah.
I was saying
That's
the level of evil in his eyes. Just wow.
yeah. You thought Evil's betrayal? I thought that was worse. I'm just gonna
That's
say that right.
fair. You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
so
well, that's not a portrayal so much as it's just like
just an asshole move.
just an even yeah.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say that just made me think this year was so stacked. We didn't even mention Josh Alexander as a potential Male of the Year wrestler because his run to that title, Jesus, man.
He was another one of my potentials as well. But yeah, John
Yeah.
Alexander had
Yeah.
he had
I just I'm gonna say his name out loud because his run to that title and then just to have that, I was just like, whew.
And we might.
Also,
We might do a little hard to kill preview if we all can work it out later this week. But he's wrestling Jonah at Hard to Kill, by the way, this Saturday.
also, I don't know if
So-
you guys heard that he wrestled Ruby Soho at AAW.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
AEW, right?
AAW, yeah.
Yeah.
2A.
AAW, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was at their New Year's Eve show.
Hmm.
It was pretty good.
Okay, so you mentioned that. Did you notice or see on Twitter where Ruby Soho made a tweet about it saying how amazing it was? You know, Josh Alexander's now her favorite opponent, and Bailey responded. It was something like, "I thought it was me" or something like that, and just her usual
I did.
Bailey so. It's like, whatever, jerk. I don't love you anymore, or something like that.
I can imagine them doing
Yeah.
that. I gotta look for that now.
Steady, you went 1-0 at one event and 3-4 at another. So you went 500 for the year. You just saw his comment. He's asking about 5 out of 6. No, you got 3 out of 7 at one event. That's what it was. I want to just throw one out there, and this is what I will call the Lifetime Achievement Award just to piss off Ric Flair. And that goes to Chris Jericho, because if you want to ask me who has had a better career of all time, I will say Chris Jericho of Ric Flair every fucking time. Because Flair never reinvented himself wherever he went. I know he won these titles, he did all this, but he was the same goddamn character every single time. When you look at what Chris Jericho has done in WCW, WWE, again back in WWE, New Japan, and now AEW, the many times he has reinvented who he is, I think it's remarkable. And,
Yeah. Look, I'm not a big fan of what that guy has become now.
yeah.
But in all fairness, Chris Jericho was never the guy the way Flair was for the amount of time he was in the 80s and early 90s. And I love the hell out of Jericho. Not a big fan of what he's turned into either in certain respects either. And I really wish Flair would just find a way to retire and live a life out of the public eye. But what Flair was as a cultural phenomenon in the 80s and early 90s when people still thought it was all real, personal feelings aside, I don't know if I can agree with that statement.
I can see that, but I'm just looking at it for the career longevity Jericho has had, and even at his age to be wrestling such great matches.
Well, I will say when he first became the Painmaker, that shocked me because it was legitimately unnerving.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I think Jericho right now is the age Flair was when he was winning the Intercontinental title in WWE in the mid 2000s. So maybe not even that old.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I think Flair needs to stop talking out loud. I think he needs to get away from this business. What depresses me the most as someone who, watched a whole bunch of Flair in WCW or the early NWA or the NWA before that, his hair was so iconic and full of volume, and it's like the older he got, it just kept deflating and getting flat, and it's just like, and
Yeah.
I don't know, him and Hogan and all those guys, and this is why, as much as I loved the Attitude Era and all these old guys are like, oh, back in the day, there were real men in the locker room. Yeah, well, look at some of these real men now. A lot of them are dead. Some of them cannot let go and don't know what else to do with their life. I kind of like that some of these guys nowadays are, Xavier Woods creating businesses for himself and expanding his brand and doing all these things.
Going to G4,
and,
yeah. So.
They're all video game nerds and they all friends and they all know each other across companies. That seems a lot more healthy for them. It may not be exactly the same kind of over-the-top Rock Austin Attitude Era stuff, but you know what? As an older person getting older in my life, I feel better for the guys and the women doing that than the stuff you heard about going on back in the day.
Well, you said Rock and Austin. Even look at those two; they are not doing anything really wrestling related anymore.
That's true too.
Rock has, Stone Cold has the podcast and everything, but he does reality shows.
Yeah,
People. He's hanging out with Ice-T, which I was like, that's a combo I didn't know I wanted until I saw it. But yeah, that works. But it's like. The guys who are saying that, it's like, I'm thinking, it started to almost sound like a jealousy thing. It's like, are you just mad that you didn't think of that or couldn't think of anything else to do? Because I don't
think they knew any better. Honestly.
Because the guys who are saying are the guys who aren't doing anything. You're not hearing The Rock or Stone Cold say, why aren't these guys not doing it? No, it's like, because they were like, hey, you know what? My body can't take that much longer. So I'm going to go do something else that's less strenuous. Yeah. And The Rock said, I'm going to do movies and have stunt doubles jump on stuff for me.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold said, I'm going to hang out on a ranch and just hit and chill with movie stars every now and again.
And make beer.
And then
make beer.
And then John Cena is getting into movies and TV series as well. Peacemaker's going to be great.
I am so looking forward to that. I can't even begin to tell you. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm so looking forward to it.
I'm glad he finally found a role that just seems perfect for him.
Yes.
He was always funny in his little parts of different movies, but this just seems made for him.
And what better role? What better role than a douchebag Captain America? It's so fucking great. I would literally one day. I know it's different comic universes, but give me Chris Evans dressed as Steve Rogers, full Captain America, standing next to John Cena dressed Peacemaker, just for the photo op.
Language Peacemaker.
You know where they should do that? They should do that in a Free Guy sequel, or a Scott Pilgrim-esque type, not those movies specifically, but something like that.
Yeah.
Where they can do that in joke and everyone can just to let everyone laugh. And I know, and they're both such nerds, they do it.
Yeah.
So, and my thing is with John Cena, I feel like he did what The Rock did when he first started becoming a movie star. He just did these random roles, The Rock had Tooth Fairy and The Rundown and blah blah blah, and then he just hit a stride with stuff. I feel like John Cena's doing that, and like you said, Xavier Woods doing the gaming thing. A lot of Serena Deeb, AW, they said they named her one of the producers now for the women's side of things. There are things you can do, but everyone's career, eventually you got to do something else. There's nothing wrong with that.
Terry, Rick can't live without the attention. Agreed. And I don't know why he's still talking, especially with all the negative press he got out of the dark side of the ring.
That's what's the most scary.
But yes, plain right from hell. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. That's just what it is.
Rick Steiner's a real estate agent. And apparently the dad of Braun Breaker, even though they only mentioned Scott.
Exactly, right. And Terry also says, Tide commercial with Stone Cold. Yes, of course.
Oh my god, I forgot that Tide commercial. Dude, I was watching it with my parents the first time I saw it, and I died laughing. I was at their house, and it came on. I said, that's Stone Cold, the Tide.
Yeah. So great, so great. Guys, we've been at the show for a while. I don't know if you guys have a 1 minute warning if you want to say anything or you want to just save it for later on. But,
save it for another time. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same here.
I do just quickly want to say, I know we mentioned it briefly with Big Swole's comments on her podcast. I'm going to blame some irresponsible reporting by whatever news site it was that put it out there. Listen to the whole damn show.
Shocked and appalled.
Yes. For those out there that just targeted, basically they found for one negative thing she said about what it was, why she left. All she said was her piece was being disrupted. There was a lot going on, a lot of stress. She had been dealing with a Crohn's flare-up as well. As far as the diversity comments, that really stemmed from the fact that her daughter was watching AEW at home one day and said, why aren't there wrestlers that look like me there? And then she went back to watching WWE where she had Sasha Banks, Naomi, Bianca Belair. And that's really all she said.
But that was a lovely 6 months WWE had that claim.
Yeah, so. Right. She said that was something that they talked about in their exit interview. She didn't say anything bad about the company, and everyone's all quick to jump on it. What's messed up here is where Tony Khan said she can't wrestle.
Yeah, that was messed up.
You took it too harsh. You didn't listen to the whole thing. You took it out of context, and you burned a bad bridge. Swole for her. If you want to hear her podcast, you should download an app called Call In. It's exclusively on there. It's free. Search Swole World on there. It's really good. It's kind of, and if you listen to it live when she is doing it, she does do it live. You can actually literally call in on the app and make a comment there as well. She'll take your call and listen to it. She always does it at the end. But it was a podcast where she was just sharing her experience. She had a lot of nice things to say about everybody there and gave an honest opinion about how crazy things were. I mean, they were still young when she signed there. There really was no structure. She had a hand in a lot of some of the storylines that we saw on Dark. That's just really a synopsis, but that episode's only an hour listen. I think it's really well worth it. Swole, obviously the Crohn's things for me, being also a Crohn's patient, and next month will be 4 years. I'm always going to remember it's 4 years because whenever the Winter Olympics were on, because I was watching curling and skiing and everything when I was in a hospital bed when I got diagnosed. But she dealt with some shit, you know. I think Tony burned a bad bridge there. And for anyone that's calling out, well, they have this wrestler and that wrestler, they have this black wrestler over here, this black, you know, that's like saying I'm not racist, I have black friends. Just don't call it out. There's no need to. She doesn't feel there was enough there. Maybe it's better now. Who knows? But she did point out something else. It doesn't have to be an African American representation. It could be a black Latino or black Latina, whatever it is. That was just her comment on it. And there's nothing negative to say. Go listen to the full episode and make your own opinions about it. And don't just jump on the, oh, she hates AEW. AEW fans out there, don't be toxic. If people say something negative about the company, it doesn't mean they're trashing it. It might just be constructive criticism. That's all it is. So that's what I say on that.
Court, you say burn the bridge, and I'm sure he did. But you know what? There have been many bridges in wrestling burned. I look at it this way: if Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart can hug in the ring, anything can still happen. I don't care.
Because the screw job was at work, baby.
On that note, the show is over.
Yeah, Terry, thank you for reminding me. Hybrid Experience this Saturday the 8th, also the same time.
I keep forgetting we're in January.
We are in January, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Depending on how it's a kind of a crazy week right now with schedules, so we may or may not have a show later this week to preview Impact Hard to Kill. If we don't, we'll probably have our own predictions. Next week we will talk about Wrestle Kingdom. We'll also talk about Hard to Kill, and see what else is out there, whatever the news shows up, right? But thank you everyone for such a great year, another year of the WrestleCast, for taking part in this with the awards and making your comments as well. We do appreciate it. Terry, thank you again. Bernsey, everyone, Brandon, Steady for jumping in as well. We do. It's great having you guys. Once again, New Japan Wrestle Kingdom starts now in about 3 hours. Tommy's going to grab some coffee and wait up for it. Night 1 and Night 2. Hard to Kill is this Saturday if we don't talk about it later. Thank you, everyone. Again, we're back. It's 2022, Electric Boogaloo.
Whoa.
I had to say it too.
Steal my catchphrase, buddy.
Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. We get to each other.
And I'm JC. And as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Happy New Year and stay safe out there, everybody.
Bye-bye.